welcome to the Easily Excitable podcast. My name is Top, and with me this week is Spencer. Hey man, how's it going?
Hi. Merry Christmas. How are you?
Merry Christmas indeed, yes. It is that time of the year.
Yeah.
This episode is out on, I'm going to say Boxing Day. That's not a thing in America, which is weird.
What? That's not a thing in America?
It's just the day after Christmas. It's not Boxing Day or anything. And I'm just
it's no trouble to tell that they are not in the Commonwealth now, isn't that?
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, Boxing Day is a thing here in Canada.
Mm-hmm. And so
you moved to the wrong country.
I know, right? But so yeah, luckily, Rachel's got the day off and everything, so it's gonna be it's gonna still be a chilled out day after Christmas. But yeah,
I'm baffled that it's not actually called Boxing Day though.
I know, right?
That blows my mind.
Yeah. Okay. So what are you gonna be doing over the Christmas break?
Well, we're essentially gonna be spending our Christmas with Jackie's parents. We're gonna drive. We're gonna take a little jaunt across the province and spend Christmas with them. We haven't spent a Christmas at Jackie's parents' place since I think the year before myself and Jackie got married. So it has been a while. And when I say take a little jaunt, it's a 1,000-kilometer drive plus a hour 20-minute ferry ride, and then we turn around and do it all again on the way back. So I'm gonna put a lot of miles on the Jeep in the next week.
It's good. That's quite a distance, isn't it?
It is, and I'm not looking forward to the drive simply because the weather in this part of the world is chaotic and at the best of times. But in this time of year, like just at the onset of winter, it can be 5 different things in an hour.
Yeah.
Like, I know when we leave here tomorrow, it's going to be snowing. And it's going to be snowing almost the whole way across, but not heavy, so it won't be too bad. I mean, we got decent tires on the Jeep, and I know what I'm doing. It's a 4x4. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be a big ball of stress till we roll in. We're only going so far as my parents' place, which is only 660 kilometers away. That makes it so much better. But we're going to go that far on tomorrow afternoon, and then we're going to catch the ferry the next day to Jackie's parents' place. So, yeah, we like to break up the drive, especially now that we have the little fella. That way, I mean, his grandparents my parents get to spend a little bit of time with him too. So
yeah, fair enough. I think we are going over to Alabama on Christmas Day. There and back, and to see Rachel's grandparents, or one set of Rachel's grandparents, and catch up with that bit of the family, and then
nice
head on back here. But yeah, plans kind of still up in the air. I'm sure that's what we're doing, but we'll find out closer to the day if that's exactly what's happening.
Cool.
But yeah, things have been going well in the run up to Christmas.
That's good.
Apart from the gifts I need to send to my parents, who are not close.
No.
All the other gifts are sorted. So, it's all come together, and I think. Yeah, we've just got one thing left to send, so I'm feeling pretty prepared about it. So that's good and exciting and fun.
Yeah, I gotta run out after work today and pick up the last remaining gifts that I gotta pick up, which fortunately are not too numerous. But then I just gotta pick up a couple things that I gotta just to have to take over across the way. Just regular supplies. I need toothpaste.
Fair enough.
Glamorous, right?
Yeah.
How glamorous is that?
I know, right? Crazy. Yeah. So, how are things going with 1551 at the moment?
We're good. We've got a couple songs, I want to say 90% in the bag. And we got a couple more that are in their fetal stages. So, we haven't really done anything in the past, like, say, 2 or 3 weeks. Just because, I mean, everybody's getting really kind of busy as Christmas approaches and stuff like that. So I believe the sentiment is we're going to pick it up again in the new year, which is all right with me. In the new year, I'll have a little more time and hopefully a little more energy. And I'll be after, hopefully sticking to not having any caffeine since my birthday. So,
how is that going?
It's actually going really well. The first couple days were rough, although I think the worst of it was compounded by just something environmental going on around here that actually caused me to get be very, very headachy, like dizzy, the whole 9 yards. Like I just wanted to crawl into bed like the day after I started this. But it turns out that was something environmental because there was a couple other people in my office that were feeling the same way. A little too coincidental to be just me, kicking caffeine. Yes. But it's been steadily improving ever since. Although that doesn't mean I don't want to drink a coffee right now.
Fair enough.
But I'm not gonna. This is actually herbal tea that I'm drinking here now, and there's no caffeine in it.
Oh, so, that's good.
But it's going well. My sleep patterns are I don't wake up like in the mornings. I don't wake up completely just wanting to go back to bed. Like I'll get up and it's like, oh, okay, cool, I'm awake. And then I'll just get up and start my day. Yeah. Before, like leading up to it was like, oh, good God. It's just dreadful trying to get up in the mornings, right? So my sleep patterns have evened out a bit. And what else? And I'm not experiencing like these peaks and valleys in my energy levels throughout the day. Like it's actually evened out quite a bit, with the exception of 2 days ago when we had our staff Christmas lunch and I ate far too much Indian food and all I wanted to do was sleep when I got back to my office. But it was so tasty. Very tasty and worth it. I don't care if I put myself into a food coma or not. It was awesome. Nice. I had a bowl of steam for supper that night. That's all I could eat.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say. Yeah, no, I've never really been one to drink caffeine in any way. So, and like, I always feel like my energy's pretty even throughout the day. I always start the day though, as soon as I wake up with like a pint of water. I'm just like down the hatch, get that going, get me hydrated, get me thinking.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, and just get me up, make sure I'm on the right path for hydration for the day, and yeah, it just helps me wake up as well. But that's because it's been part of my routine for all 5 years or so at least.
Nice.
So I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll do that, and then yeah. But it's for me, it's all about doing things in a routine. At the moment, well, over the last few months, it's just been like, I'll get up whenever. And over the past month or so, it's definitely been a concerted effort to get up when Rachel gets up at like 6:45. And I'm just like, okay, I'll get up when she gets up, so then I can start the day right, and then I'm not going to be going to bed too late. The problem is like going to bed, I'm still like, I still have like a million thoughts running through my head because I'm trying my best to keep myself entertained and challenged throughout the day, but you know, it's nothing like a job can actually provide, and then you're just suddenly off on a path, and I'm just like, I could be doing this stuff or having fun with that. But yeah, no.
Cool. Yeah. How's the paperwork going?
I looked at it. I looked at like the processing times, and there's like 5 different processing centers for the paperwork. 4 of them would have my paperwork with me now, and there's one of them that's really slow and behind. So guess which one my paperwork's at?
Anus.
So I'm just waiting and waiting. I think it'll be about a month and a half from now. I need to check out. So yeah, but one of my goals for the new year is to find a job. But I can't do that until I have the paperwork.
You can't even look, right?
I'm just hoping it comes through relatively soon, because I really want to keep myself busy in the day and not just spend the day doing whatever I want and then end up being like, I haven't done anything.
That's actually something I'm looking forward to doing over Christmas is nothing.
Yes.
I'm not going to be able to do it though. I guarantee you, I'm not going to have a day where, where I get to totally relax. I mean, that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
So, it'd be nice. That's all I want for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Santa's going to give me coal.
Aww. Aww.
Well, that's it. I mean, this, one day, that's all I wanted. I know it's not going to happen just because we're going to be surrounded by Jackie's relatives, both immediate and extended, just because she has so many relatives. Her family, both her parents' sides have come from huge families. Yeah. And I've got a handful of relatives left there as well. So, I mean, they're all going to want to see Reagan and whatnot. Yeah. They don't give a shit if they see me. Once upon a time, maybe, but it's definitely like, oh, you got to bring by the little fella. All right, perfect. That's what we'll do. So that's what we're going to do.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So recently, like a few weeks ago, I recorded 3 songs in a week. I recorded one that's like there's that trend at the moment of the lo-fi hip hop style beats and a little bit of smoothie music. I did a little 2-minute song based around that style. I haven't put that one out anywhere, so I'm just like, okay, that's just for me. I want to kind of try and work on it a bit more, maybe get some more things in that kind of ilk together so that I can just be like, this is a different kind of thing that I'm trying.
Cool.
And then I also did 2 Game of Bands songs. That seems to be driving my creativity at the moment. As well as something else I'll get on to in a minute. And one of them was a ballady kind of song that was nice and soft called Remember. That one did relatively okay. It was received well within the Game of Bands group. And then I did another one which was kind of Iron Maiden style. Called, what was it called? It was called From Paradise to Pandemonium. And I worked with, I joined a group because they were like, oh, our musician can't get us something done. This was on a Wednesday and the song needed to be done by Sunday.
That's not
I
a lot
had
of time.
the song done by the end of Thursday. And I was like, I've done all the music. I recorded 2 different guitar solos as well. I was like, oh yeah, I was feeling in my element playing them as well. I was like, yes, sweeps and legato and all the fun stuff. And so I had such a good time playing that one. And it was it was kind of refreshing to see that was also being well received, but obviously in a different way to the other one, because the other one's nice soft guitars, and this one's just riffing the whole time.
I say go full tilt.
Yeah, so I gave it a go, had a listen, and read through the comments, and I'm just like, okay, so I can write this kind of music. I just need to have the inspiration there to do it, and so I've been really, really enjoying writing music for Game of Bands. I did send you a bunch of tracks a while ago, and I was like, let's work on some music. And then what happened was one of Rachel's friends, who I guess is kind of my friend as well, Sarah, she was like, oh, there's this guy who's looking for musicians to play with him on Wednesdays. And I was like, on a Wednesday night. And I was like, cool, let me know who he is. And then, got in contact with him, played with him and some other people. And we just started playing together consistently every week, and we have done for the last 5 or 6 weeks. We've written some stuff. I've taken some of the stuff I sent you samples of, and so I'm just like, we're kind of working on this, getting it done. He's found another guitarist that might be interested in joining us and writing some music and recording some stuff, and it's kind of just turned from let's just jam and have a good time into let's write some music because our chemistry's pretty good. It was just count us in 4 beats, we'll play something through and we'll both know when we want to stop, and we're just cool, we're there. And I'm playing some crazy beats as well, crazy things as well, and he's just I'm just just stick with it and join in the 2nd or 3rd time through because I know it's in an odd time signature, because I'm just I'll just play this thing, and then suddenly I'll be like, That isn't in regular time. But yeah, our chemistry's pretty good. We're looking for, at the moment, we're looking for another guitarist. We need to find a bass player, but we'll see what happens there.
So you have a drummer already, or?
Yeah. The guy that I'm playing with is the drummer, so yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
very cool.
It was really cool. It was really lucky that Sarah was like, yeah. Speak to this guy. Like, you two get in contact. So, yeah, got in contact and, just been playing, having a good time. And, I found last night when I went, so this is coming out on a week after we're actually recording it. So yesterday was a Wednesday. It wasn't Christmas, and I wasn't abandoning everyone on Christmas to play guitar.
No.
What? I know,
How
right?
dare you?
And so I found last night that when I got into the room that we play in, my brain was suddenly in the gear of, okay, let's write music, let's put stuff together, because last night was more productive than, apart from the week before, all the other weeks combined. Was like last week we kind of had some things and were kind of getting places with things, but last night we really just like hit it up and like really got many more things actually recorded, or like not even, well, just drafts of ideas recorded and like figuring out what beats go with what. And I think we played like 5 or 6 different ideas, like trying to develop each of them as well, which is good fun, and I'm having a good time with it all. But
cool.
And
that sounds sounds like a blast, man.
Yeah, so I'm having a good time with it. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to switch up from playing on Wednesday nights, because time is limited, and I ended up being like 50 minutes late yesterday. So I was like, I don't like being that late, to like playing on Sundays when there's a lot more free time.
That and Chump comes on Wednesday evenings.
Yes.
So now you have a great reason to stay in on Wednesdays.
5 Central, 6 Eastern. Yeah.
Yep.
Have you been watching it?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay. Cool.
It actually comes on at a time slot where I'm actually able to sit down and consume a bit of media. So
what is it? It's probably like 7:30 for you, right?
It comes on 7:30. Yep.
Yeah.
And on Wednesday evenings around my house, it's usually a pretty low key affair. So like Reagan's probably, we're just finishing up a bite to eat, that kind of thing. Reagan, for instance, last night Reagan was watching a Smallfoot on Blu-ray. So I was like, well, I don't want to watch this anymore, so I'll pop in an earbud, and I just had my phone going, and he'd be looking back at me. I'd interact with him, obviously, but yeah, it's been great to sort of just watch something live for a change.
Nice. I need to watch the second episode. Obviously, the third one was on yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second episode is the one with, was it Jessica?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jeff, Chad, and Fiona. So
yeah.
I started watching it.
Fiona
and then
was awesome in that episode.
Mm-hmm. And Jeremy's the host, obviously. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, Jeremy's the host. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good fun. I watched the first episode and I was like, I like this, but yeah, yesterday I started watching the second episode and I was like, I'm not in the mood for this. I need to watch something else. Like this morning I was like, oh, what am I going to do? Because I had like half an hour to fill. I was like, I could watch that, or I could watch Grappler Baki, the anime, which is like super violent. And I was like, I'm going to watch the super violent thing.
Let's watch the super violent thing first thing in the morning. Excellent choice.
It kind of gets me motivated to be like, I want to go to the gym. No, to go to the gym to get in shape.
That's something I can't wait to get at come the new year. I've actually got the shed cleaned out enough where I can set up the bike on the trainer, and I can just spin. It's just I got to figure out what time of day do I want to do it. Do I want to get up at 5 o'clock versus 10 to 6 and do it then? And then just carry on with my day, which is what I'm leaning towards. Yeah. God help me. Or try and do it after Reagan's gone to bed in the nighttime. But there's usually so much stuff that I got to do between when he's in bed to when I'm going to bed that I kind of don't know if I'm going to be able to shoehorn it in there. So I'm actually leaning towards 5 a.m. in the morning, which I can't believe I'm saying that.
Yeah, when I was in the UK before I left at the beginning of the year, I was like, right, I need to make a change so I can get myself in shape. I ended up getting up at like 6 a.m. so I could get to the gym for 6:30 at the latest, do my hour or so workout, and then head to work and like eat my breakfast at my desk just so I was there on time, ready to go. But
nice.
Yeah, it's just I way prefer exercising first thing. The problem is like trying to fit it in and get up early enough. And right now, like I have no way to get to the gym apart from Rachel. And by that point, it's 8:15.
Yeah.
8:20, and I've already eaten, and I'm just like, I need to give more time after eating to actually get to go to the gym.
Yeah, because if not, you gonna yak.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm close to being to finishing my. How much did I want to run? I wanted to run 200 kilometers in 6 months, and as of the recording of this, I am at 195 kilometers, and as of the time this comes out, I will have ran 200 kilometers.
Nice. So, I say, if you can't do a 5K between now and a week from now.
Yeah, I just need to go to the gym once and I'll be fine. And then my goals for next year are kind of up in the air right now. I want to run a bit more. I want to be able to run a mile in 6 minutes again, get it down that low. And then hopefully get faster, but it's always a push because I used to be asthmatic, and as such, my lungs still are just like, there are limits, and I'm just like, go.
Yeah.
And then, the other thing I want to do, fitness related, is cycle along the Silver Comet Trail, which
I'm not familiar with that.
It goes from Atlanta to somewhere in Alabama. But I'm only going to do it until it gets to the Alabama border because I'm not crossing over. No, as soon as you cross over the border, you cross the border and time goes backward. Time goes forwards now?
Boy, you sure do have a part of math.
Difference. It's also 61 miles from Atlanta to the border, the state border.
That's far enough.
So I'm going to do 61 miles a few times if I can. Get myself up there and just have a good time.
Nice. Are you going up, staying, and then coming back, or are you going to do round trip one day?
Round trip one day, yeah.
So it's 61 up, 61 back.
I'll go up, do the 61. Hopefully Rachel can drop me off, go do stuff in Atlanta, then pick me up at the other end, and then drive us back.
Gotcha.
Although it'll probably be a 2.5 hour drive back, which is a bit gross. Because Atlanta, because where it starts is about an hour and a half from here. If it's 61 miles from there, I'm going to assume it's about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that's going to be a long time sitting in your own goo.
Yeah. Oh well. It should be good though. Apparently, it's located on an old train line, so it shouldn't be particularly hilly. It should just be nice, long, flat. If there are slopes, gentle. I think 61 miles should be, for me, about 4 hours, maybe a little faster.
Yeah.
It's but that's just keeping that endurance up for the whole time, really. I think that's very doable.
It is very doable. Yeah, especially if you work up to that point and mind your nutrition and stuff like that, you should be fine.
Yeah. So
you don't want to bonk. You really don't want to bonk. Bonking hurts.
Yeah. I think I should be fine. I don't know. I need to get better at my overall endurance, but then again, at the moment I'm running 3.1 miles, which is 5 kilometers, and I'm doing that pretty consistently every time in roughly 24 minutes. So I am feeling good about that. But yeah, that kind of ties into the fact that before I left to come to the States, I was running a mile in about 6 minutes, but I could never do more than 1 mile. I'd do that 6 minutes and I'd be like, I'm done. Now I just want to now I want to warm up on the cross trainer, run a mile and then be able to do way more, or just run the mile and then be able to run further but at a lower pace, or run the mile in faster than 6 minutes and then be like, okay, that's good, I'll go do weights or something. or I want to be able to run the mile in 6 minutes and then run another mile in another 6 minutes as well. But I'm just got to build up to all that.
So you're essentially going to be interval training.
Essentially, yeah. Like, I could do it. There's like a few ways you can approach it. Like, you can do it as intervals to try and like. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna structure it, but I'll try and do an interval run, a timed mile, and another undetermined kind of run. So when you're training, you should do like one as fast as you can, like a mile as fast as you can to like sustain the mile time. You should do an interval to try and build up your endurance and your ability to recover, and then you should do a longer distance at a lower speed to build up your overall endurance, and then like see how you can fit it into context of other things, like of other exercises. Like really, one of those should also be random, but that's not difficult. That's not easy to do on a treadmill. Whereas if you're on a cross trainer, you should, if you're on a cross trainer or what they call here, elliptical, you should then be doing intervals, random, and long endurance on them. So the random setting will increase the resistance that you've got. But, you know, I'm a trained fitness instructor as well, so that's something I always am like, yes, this is a thing, and then I forget that. I don't tell people that enough, or people don't know that commonly. And so I'm just like, oh yeah, I have all this knowledge that I just forget about. And that's absolutely something I could do when I'm able to get a job. But I also have way other industry relevance that would probably be useful here, that probably pay way more as well. But I'm just like, Anyway, I've got some ideas for what I want to do next year. And this 61-mile bike ride certainly seems like one of the things that I'm very, very keen to do, because our neighbour told us about it a while ago, and I'm just like, I can't wait for it to be spring and do this bike ride, and the weather will be glorious and it'll all be a good time. And I
had lofty goals back when I was cycling to do a century, and I could never find time to do it. And then I scaled it back to say, I'll do a metric century. Never found time to do it. I'll do 80 kilometers. 80 kilometers was enough. I was like, okay, because I mean, once you get beyond a certain, because I obviously used to ride out the highway. I wouldn't just ride around the city, because that would be utterly suicidal, and with traffic around here. So what I would do is I would basically go out the highway and then ride back, in basically the same direction I came back in. And man, after a certain point, it's boring as shite. I was like, oh, okay, well, well, I did it. All right,
61 miles is like the tiniest bit shy of 100 kilometers, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So I'm just mate, I was just thinking as you said that, I was like, maybe I should just push to do the extra mile.
I say, you could do the metric century.
Yeah.
Done. Just like ride around a parking lot for an extra mile.
Yeah. That I hadn't considered that. That hadn't occurred to me until you just said metric century. I was like, oh yeah, I've been mega
I'm an
close
enabler.
to doing that. Oh man. So there's like one last thing I wanted to touch on.
Sure.
It relates to music as well, but I was watching an interview video the other day, and I watched a music theory video, like a music video this morning as well, that was about are guitarists better than they used to be in general. And then they were like making the case of like, there's the guys in Polyphia that like play all this amazing technical stuff, and they're only like 24 each of them. And then they were like, has there anyone been like that in the past? And then they were like, yeah, obviously, Jason Becker and Marty Friedman, when they were like 18 doing Cacophony. It's like, but there's way more prevalence and like availability of resources now that allow people to be great guitarists at younger ages, whereas before it used to all be like training kind of stuff. And then I was watching this interview with a lady called Yvette Young who plays in the band Covet.
Okay.
And they're an instrumental band, but she went to school to study classical music and was a pianist. It was really, really interesting, like, listening to her, because she now plays guitar as, like, her main instrument, like, in her bands, but the way she approaches it with, like, two hands tapping when needed, and, like, just playing with, playing the rest of the time. It's really, really interesting to, like, listen to her, how she learned, and, like, how she converted from piano to guitar. Everything, I just found it quite inspiring, and I was like, oh, I just need to get better at guitar, because... You know, I've been playing for way longer than I feel I'm good enough at. Does that make any sense? I feel like
you feel like you should be more advanced than what you are for the time that you've been playing.
For the amount of time I've been playing, yeah. And yeah, I was just like, oh, I should be way better than I am, given how long I've been playing. But at the same time, like, I've been focused as well, especially with Game of Bands, on the songwriting aspects of things as well.
Yeah.
How do things flow together, rather than like creating these progressive instrumentals that are kind of, I don't know if they're popular at all, really, but like the progressive instrumentals with like the high flying leady parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I don't know what to do, but yeah, it certainly gave me a different way of thinking about stuff. But I'm also like, oh, I kind of want to stick in like the traditional writing songs kind of thing. So Game of Bands kind of has me rooted in that at the moment as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that it all kind of goes together, though, doesn't it? Because I mean, if you have a more varied technique. Sorry, I just hit the microphone. If you have a more varied technique and you have a few more weapons in your arsenal to choose from, that kind of opens doors to songwriting possibilities. Mm-hmm. So, absolutely, consume and practice as much of a variety as possible. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, you'd be surprised at how one thing could influence another, and you could, create this really cool thing in the songwriting process based on the tools that and skills and techniques that you've learned.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it'd be very cool if this section of the song did this. Wait, I know how to do that. Mm-hmm. Wow, and off to the races you go.
Yeah. Rachel and I have been listening to a lot of Carly Rae Jepsen at the moment. I'm just like, I want to write more pop music. It's just like, this is cool.
It is, and I tell you, for everybody called her an overnight success. No way. She worked for years at it, years and years and years around here. Well, I mean, in Canada in particular, but then that song went huge everywhere. And I was like, oh, overnight success. No, she was at it for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, she did a Tiny Desk recently. That's kind of why I was like, an NPR Tiny Desk concert. And they played 3 songs. And so I saw that and I was like, oh, I want to watch this. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, that's exactly what I wanted to see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's ridiculously good, man. Ridiculously good.
It was good fun, and kind of got me being like, I kind of want to try pop music, because I'm like, I want to try and write music in different genres as well, because I want to try that. The next Game of Bands round that's coming up, by the time this is out, I'll already be started working on it, I guess, is a 30-second song. I've done one that was under a minute, and that one actually won like the track of the round as well.
Nice.
So that was good. But hopefully this time in the 30-second song I can do something unique, fun, and well received. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but I hope that I hope that it goes well. But 30 seconds is quite a limited amount of time to actually.
It is.
Get
in 30. I'm gonna offer a bit of advice. In a 30-second song, get to the point quick.
Yeah.
That was the thing for writing the music for Chump. It was like, okay, I can't do what I would typically do, which would be build it up and then take away and then build it up again. It's like, no, I got to get to the point. This is got to be balls out right straight from the start. So, just get to the point as quick as possible and run with it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm absolutely gonna be giving that a go. But cool. Anything else you want to say?
No, I'm good. I just want to wish you and Rachel a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays and a Happy New Year, because I probably won't get to talk to you between now and then.
Most likely not. Yeah, I wish you and Jackie and Reagan the same.
Thank you very, very much.
Christmas to all.
And thanks for having me on as often as you do, because it's very nice to chat with you. I love chatting with you so much.
It's great to chat to you. I enjoy it a lot. Thank you very much for being my guest this week.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And thank you everyone for listening. Have an excellent week, Christmas time, holiday period in general. And thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.